long. That's it. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Oh, shit. That's the first thing you're hearing.
Oh,
It's
boy.
really long.
Split the nipples.
Or really wide one.
Ooh.
Context.
Covered.
Yeah. Thin at the bottom.
No, what are they called?
Sandler.
The ones that are just like really just string. What
Ooh.
are the
Oh, yeah.
They live in the south.
The Borats.
Oh, yeah.
No, the
yeah.
tie.
Apollo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
We are Not Great RPG. We're back, kind of, for the Lost Kings of Adoris. We are sans 2 people tonight, but we're going to have a great time, and everyone is definitely totally fine. So, yeah, it's going to be a great time. So we're going to go around the table real quick. I'm going to read...
The more times you say it's going to be a great time, the less I believe you.
No, I know it's going to be a great time for me.
Same.
Could you say the title in a fun voice?
I'll try to channel my inner John here. A heretical bloodline.
Very good.
It's very good.
Thank you.
Heretical blood.
Sounds a little
Yeah,
pi-
I didn't
little
scrunch up.
piratey.
You got it, dude. That's how you,
Yeah,
that's how
I
you
didn't
channel.
scrunch up quite enough.
You gotta cringe like it hurts to be alive.
Yeah, dude. All the decades of agony, you gotta build them up and release them.
Reduce.
Yeah. I'm John, and I play Marcus.
Oh, we're doing it? I'm Sarah, and I play Dandelion.
I'm Paul, and tonight I will be finding purchase with fun while playing the young master Rin.
Fun purchase.
That's not Autumn. That's not Mike. And I'm not Lawrence. Tonight I play Shay.
Holding down the fort on the left side of the table from my perspective. So, last week, A City of Smiles.
Last week.
2 weeks ago.
There we go. Where are we?
Eons ago. A City of
Galaxy
Smiles.
far away.
Yeah. Shay dips off into the crowd to go look for some stuff. Rin dances and spins with the smiling man, and the rest of you guys make your way towards the Frazzled Fox, not the Frazzled Fox.
The Frazzled Fox.
In on Lamplighter's Way. Rin sees the party move away from him, hurriedly spins away from the smiling man before dropping a smile from his own face and rushing to catch up with them. The party enters the inn. You guys speak with a cheery man who introduces himself as Baldric, the owner. He asks you guys what you're in need of, and Marcus says that they're in need of 4 rooms. He offers you guys a suite and says that families frequently come here. He offers to have somebody take your things to your rooms, and Marcus says, no, we'll take our own stuff. Thanks, bud. Appreciate that. So he leads you guys to your rooms through a small courtyard into the building adjacent to where you entered. You guys set your things down as Baldric walks out into the hall to wait for you. Marcus comments that Greymore is very different than what he was expecting to see based on the stories that his father told him. Marcus guesses that Twig and Mr. Pigeon would share a room, and Twig shakes her head no, and says that Mr. Pigeon will be staying in Shay's room instead. Dandelion unpacks her belongings, setting her mushrooms out in piles on top of the dresser next to her blacksmith's gloves and other items. Rin observes the parade through a nearby window, notices guild floats and other things, but nothing out of the ordinary. You lock eyes with some of the sad people, and from the distance that you're at, can't really tell if they seem sad or if they're drained of energy and life somehow.
Great.
So you guys head back downstairs with your good friend Baldric. He asks you what brings you guys to Greymore. Marcus tells him that business brings them here and that they're looking for answers for some of their friends. He asks you if you're looking for someone looking to buy something, sell something. Marcus mentions that they're looking to purchase a gift for Dandelion's grandmother. And Dandelion knows absolutely what a grandmother is. And it's for her 100th birthday, looking for sentimental trinkets. He mentions that there's a wall market on the other side of the city in Merchant's Village, as well as the Holy Market in the Divine District.
Say wall market?
Wall market, yes.
Very good.
Thank you. It is by a wall. But also, yeah.
The wall market.
The wall market.
The entire wall.
Yeah. Baldric prompts the others as to what brings them to the city. Rin tells him that he has business with the Duke of Commerce, and Baldric says, oh, John Dar, wonderful man, always treated my business very fairly. And then Rin says, great, it's good that he's not a dick. And then you guys speak about MILFs, and Baldric tells you guys that there's various brothels, as well as some in the theater district, and Marcus says, oh, there's men I'd like to fight in the theater district. And Baldric says there's the barracks, the military district of the city, but that is closed to outsiders, and Marcus mentions that he is starting a militia, and therefore it needs many MILFs. Baldric asks Mr. Pigeon and Twig what they're here for, and Twig just shakes her head no. He looks at them both and directs them to perhaps the theater district, and Twig tells them that they don't want to be perceived or called by name and not to look at them.
So they're not here.
So they're not here. They literally can't be perceived. Glad we got that one out of the way. So he looks away and leads you guys down to the tavern portion of the inn once more. You guys order food. You speak with Baldric about the city. Marcus asks about the parade, and he tells you that it's a celebration of a victory for one of the Knights of Fjordan who rescued a princess after taking out a fort, an elvish princess from Cantor across the sea. She had been taken and was being held by the invaders to the north that are encroaching on Fjordan's land and attempting to take over. Baldric tells you guys that this knight was part of a group that was tasked with entering this fort, a mission that came down from the combat front. His captain, Captain Emmerich, fell sick, and the knight Benjamin May, second in command, was given the opportunity to lead the group. He succeeded valiantly, taking out a great number of warriors there and saving many of his own men. Marcus remembers that his father told him about Captain Emmerich as someone that he trusted, and Marcus postures privately that he might seek him out in order to find out more information. Marcus asks where the soldiers hang out, and Baldric tells him that there are taverns in the barracks itself, as well as right outside where many of them hang out, as well as a few in the wharf, the shipping and receiving district of the city. Some of the nobility and higher-up ranking soldiers also spend time in the distillery, a tavern within the Sovereign District. He tells you that while he is not a fan of the war at large due to the deaths of Fjordanian soldiers, thank you very much, Sink the Dragon, for the $50 donation.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, good to see you.
Finishing off our donation tier for the month of July at the last possible day. Thank you so much. We appreciate it immensely. Welcome back. It's very good to see you again. Marcus asks for more information about the war recruitment. And he tells you that they are primarily from Greenridge, a mining town to the western Fjordanian border by the mountain range. Also, can we get some big hypes in the chat, please, for Sink the Dragon? Thank you so much. Genuinely, we really appreciate it.
Dankeschön.
Rin asks if there is somewhere you can go to think and speak with someone, and Baldric tells him there are various bathhouses on Bathhouse Row or Steamwalk, as well as on Wise Man's Walk. There is someone there that deals with problems and offers advice. Marcus asks about the various temples within Greymore, and Baldric tells Marcus of the church, the High Seat, but there are smaller temples of worship on the hallowed steps within the Sovereign District. You guys thank Baldric and begin to eat. Shay does some stuff, and then walks back into the tavern at some point later, joins you guys at the table. Baldric takes his order before heading off. Dandelion tells Shay that she isn't sure that they can trust Baldric because he didn't know the handshake of an innkeeper. Shay says that perhaps there is a regional handshake, though he isn't sure. The party speaks about what they have learned so far, and Dandelion casts the wand of smiles at Ren, who is minorly displeased at the result, making it hard for him to eat for a bit. Shay tells them about what he saw with Benjamin May, and that the king was missing from the float of nobility with an empty throne. Marcus says he'll be right back, walks towards the door. Dandelion jumps up and skips along after him. Marcus walks outside to view the parade, seeing the floats of guards and nobility, begins stomping on the ground loudly with his metal boots, attracting attention to himself. Several of the older guards and nobles furrow their brows in his direction and whisper amongst themselves, pointing at him. The knight Benjamin May, seemingly unaware of who Marcus is or what he's doing, also stomps and claps with Marcus, smiling in his direction before continuing to spin and play the crowd.
Finger guns?
He for sure did, and if he didn't, he did.
So he finger guns.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Guns are real.
Mm-hmm.
This is peak fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Finger spears.
I just picture pickles. Like dill spears.
Edward Pickle Fingers.
Yeah, only on these two fingers that he just...
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Poor Johnny Depp.
And
He's been through so much.
He really has. It's really unfortunate. You hate to see it. You really do. The parade passes, the crowd begins to disperse, and Marcus mentions that Benjamin is far too young for his father to have known him and isn't sure why the king is not present on the noble throat. The noble throat!
On the what now?
Fine. Don't read into that.
Throne and float at the same time.
It sure was. Not present on the noble float, but that it's probably not great. He also says that it's strange for a city to have a wharf when they do not have water nearby, and that he is unsure as to what these laborers do there. The party then stands and heads to their rooms for the night, aside from Rin, who sits and smokes for a while until nightfall. As they stand, the party sees pictures on the wall of some of the noodles. The party sees a flicker of recognition on Twig's face for a moment before she turns and continues walking towards the room. Before Shay leaves, he tells Rin that Jandar isn't likely to be in his office for a day or so. And Rin thanks him for the information and says that he will hold off on visiting Jandar. Back in their rooms, Marcus and Dandelion speak, and some more stuff occurs, and then you guys all go to sleep, and you are awakened by a crack of thunder as rain begins to heavily fall above you, and then you go back to sleep, and we're going to pick up the following morning if everybody else, except Marcus, can leave and have a great time out there until I call you back.
I see how it's going to be.
Goodbye.
Didn't want to be here anyways.
The noble throat, dude.
The noble throat.
Take my snacks.
Have fun with your noble throat, Marcus.
I stomped for it.
It's true. Marcus Throat Stopper.
Cool.
It's a good orc name.
That's gonna be for Shay.
Okay. Very good.
That's gonna be for Dandelion.
Very good.
Yeah, I would leave all of my belongings, except for my 2 wonderful gifts, some incense, my holy symbol that is my glove, and I would carry my maul. I would leave all the other things in my gold behind.
Okay.
I would not don my armor inside of the room because I would not want to disturb Dandelion.
Yeah.
And I would leave the note on the table adjacent with all of my other belongings.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, and I would...
Both of the notes?
No, the note for Shay I would slide under his door as I am leaving.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I would step out into the hallway and discreetly, try to make my way downstairs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you make your way downstairs with no disruption. It's pretty early, as you said. You wake up at
Yeah, I would wake up at
dawn.
like 5 a.m. because I'm
Yeah.
a farmer, and like I literally can wake myself up for that kind of work. And
Yeah.
we went to bed actually at a pretty early hour last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I would step outside into the like courtyard area that we are and begin donning my armor in the morning.
Sure.
Full armor.
Mhm.
Sans great helm. The helm I would have the detached visor portion up and the plate that extends over the neck unflapped.
Cool.
And I would make my way over, I believe it is to the west for the regions that are where the temple... Let me look at the map once more.
Mm-hmm.
It was in World for us, right?
Should be, yes.
Yeah, the Divine District would be my anticipation for where...
Yeah, you were told that's where the high seat is, the actual, like, big church.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd start making my way through the city towards the high seat.
Sure. Yep, so you make your way up to the crossing, which is between the Silver and Sovereign districts as you walk down. There's not too many people out at this hour. Obviously, it's pretty...
It's like 5 a.m.
Yeah, it's
The
5
sun's
a.m.
like literally barely cresting over the horizon.
Yeah, you see a couple of the, drunkards kind of stumbling their way through the streets home as the sun crests over the horizon. You make your way to this crossing, and you look to the west and see that it leads all the way through from the side of the city that you're on onto the other one, straight through the large wall at the center.
Okay.
And you make your way across there into the market district and wind your way up through the other streets. None of the merchants are obviously open at this hour. There's a couple people that are like setting some things up.
Sure. Yeah, like
there's-
stalls and things on streets.
Yeah. Yeah, the market is basically just one big... there are some like kind of ramshackle like winding streets that are unlabeled that have some smaller buildings for like
Okay.
more permanent shops, and then there's a lot of stalls everywhere and things
Gotcha.
as well that are being set up. Yeah, and you make your way up into the Divine District.
While I'm walking, passing the barracks specifically, what would it look like? Just in terms of size, scale, whether or not there are individuals in it, around it, guards around it,
Sure.
anything like that. And also, just what anybody around it looks like emotionally and what they look like in terms of what they're wearing.
Sure. So the barracks itself is, as you make your way up the Merchants District and into the Theater District, there is a large wooden wall that kind of divides this military-only quarter of the city from everything else. It's not quite so tall that, like, from a distance you can catch like a glance over. They're not like It's not like they're hiding things, but it is enough for people to not like try to scale it.
Sure.
You can see that there are several gates along this that are like partially open, and there's a couple guards standing at each. Their demeanor looks fairly relaxed. They don't look like they're like super at attention or anything. They are just simply, as you know, DJ would say, doing their job.
Yes.
Just kind of watching for people coming and going.
Okay. Are they in the traditional like Fjordanian silver that
Yes.
I would have known?
They are.
And like crest and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I would probably about, I don't know, maybe 60 to 70 feet away from, because where it looks to me on the map, it looks like there's a fair meeting point at the conclusion of what would be that wooden wall for the barracks and where the Divine District would begin.
Mm-hmm.
I would just pause for a moment and try to take in the area of the Divine District and what the high seat looks like.
Sure. Absolutely. Let me pull up.
And I would absolutely, as I pass the barracks, while I am walking, begin muttering words of reaffirmation to myself about what I am doing.
Sure. Who you are.
Yeah, just the name Shaw means something and used to mean something in that barracks.
Sure.
Men used to be led there for a good purpose, and seeing it walled away from its people to me is already a statement about what the knights in this city are to the civilians. And knowing that leadership and loyalty are important and central to the idea of what a knight is, and that comes with a sense of sacrifice in your duty, and that I witness that firsthand every day with my father and even with the people of Goldview, that I wonder when my father would wake up in that barracks, the men who feel the way that I am sure I feel now, this fear of mortality gripping me, what words would my father have for those men, and what words would my father have for me now?
Sure.
And he would remind me, let no leaf wilt, Marcus. Better to cull it. And then I would walk towards the high seat.
So you're as you said, a bit kind of overwhelmed by almost this negative energy coming from the barracks, with the thoughts of that this must have once been open and contained good men, and that while it likely does contain some good men,
Yes.
its purpose has clearly changed and it's no longer the same.
Yes.
So you make your way into the Divine District, and you pull up the map for that. So as you make your way up this center path, which is known as the Path of Reverence, you see off to the east, towards the eastern side of the city, is another break in this large central wall with a gate. That does look to be guarded, unlike the one that you passed through, which did not have a gate.
Okay.
This would be kind of mirrored on the other side with the hollowed steps, which is the road that is just south of King's Way on the northern part of the city that comes through there and then winds up along in front of where the high seat sits.
Okay.
As you make your way towards this cathedral, you can see that it is made of a very large grayish white stone. It's not quite white. It's not deep gray, like a light gray.
Okay.
And you can see that there are very large, like towering
Columns and then
columns
spires.
and spires. Yes. And you can see that there are a lot of decorative symbols of Torm and Tyr carved into the building itself, as well as a large stained glass window with the crest of Fjordan at the front.
Mm-hmm.
You make your way towards this, passing through the path of reverence, which leads directly to the open metal gated off area that leads to like the holy grounds of the city of Greymore. And you make your way to the large, very tall, traditional, dark oak doors of this large cathedral.
Are there any individuals around, anybody else that looks like they are also moving towards the high seat?
Yeah, there's a couple, mostly older people making their way.
Like civilians?
Yes.
Yeah. I would wait for them. I'm assuming there's like small ascending stair. I would wait for them at the height of the stairs.
Sure.
And bid them good morning and offer to hold the door.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We appreciate your kindness. It's quite early. What is someone so young doing up so early?
I don't know. I've always woken up early.
Well, thank you again, and good day to you.
You as well.
She steps in.
Yeah. I would follow them inside and close the door behind.
Pull up my description for the interior. So the inside of this cathedral is obviously made of the same stone as the outside, same slate-colored stone. On the sides of the building, alternating, are stained glass windows of Torm and Tyr, crest of Fjordan, Torm, Tyr, Fjordan, alternating down this entire large cathedral. And you can see that there are red carpets that kind of line the center of the pews towards the large like pedestal area at the front. And you can see that there are candles kind of floating in the air above. It's very beautiful in here.
That area is called the Sanctuary.
Ooh.
Just so you know.
Uh-oh.
Holds the pulpit, the area in which the priest speaks. Figured I'd let you know.
Yeah, thank you. Just...
Oh, God!
The priest.
Yeah, I would make my way towards that area.
Towards the sanctuary?
Yes. And, doing my best despite in full plate to not disturb anybody who is sitting in attendance at the pews.
Sure.
And I would take a seat at one of the front pews. So at the pulpit, the pedestal itself is usually elevated again on a small platform, and there's usually like statues and things like that. I would want to sit on the side that has a statue of Torm, if there is a statue.
Yeah, there is.
I would sit on the statue of Torm.
Sure.
Well, on the side of the statue of Torm.
I mean, we can make that happen. You want to sit on Daddy Torm's lap.
Yeah, noble throat, dude. I would sit and just kind of look up at it and then look down at the silver gauntlet that I have inherited. My holy symbol and my symbol that resolves and reaffirms me with the belief of Torm and the idea of the importance of self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I would sit and pray that for my friends they understand and they take solace in the time that we had together. And I hope that I taught them something, and that should I never get to see them again, that they forgive me for being selfishly minded and severing myself from them now, knowing that I am a pariah in this city, and that I do so only to avert their eyes from what I fear they would see when they take me, particularly Dandelion.
Yeah.
And I would look at the statue of Tyr on the opposite side and contemplate what happened to justice inside of Greymore. And that should they take me, that I believe that my friends will be capable of bringing a justice to this city that I was not able to do. And I would thank both of them for their guidance, their strength, their loyalty, their devotion, and their courage. And I would stand and I would walk out of the high seat.
I'm going to give you a point of inspiration as you do feel the warmth of your two gods
Thank you.
wash over you.
Thank you. And I would begin to leave the area of the Divine District and walk towards the Grand Gate, or whatever it looks like that is. I'm imagining it as a gate at the front of the castle grounds.
Yeah, so you make your way back down towards the crossing and cut across again. And you make your way up towards King's Way. And towards this, yes, very large gatehouse at the front of the castle grounds. You can see behind you are a fair number of fine buildings that are on the same street that other gatehouse between the two walls is for the hollowed steps, which is where a lot of the other smaller temples are for the other gods. And you make your way at the center of Monarch's Path and stand in front of this large stone wall and gatehouse that sits kind of cutting you off from the castle atop this very small elevated hill that it sits, kind of rising above the wall in front of you.
Is there anybody standing watch at the guard, or at the gate itself?
There is. Yeah, there are a few guards.
Yeah, I would make my way towards them and hold. Obviously, when I wave, I would use the silver gauntleted hand and look at whichever one looks older.
Sure.
If there is, 3 or 4 of them in the area, I would attempt to try to pick out whichever of them looks the most seasoned, veteran. Particularly, honestly, whether or not his armor bears any marks of battle.
Sure.
And I would attempt to get their attention by waving the silver gauntlet. And if they look over in my direction, I would say good morning.
They do. And you see this older, grizzled man with a brownish beard. Looks to be about the age that your father probably would have been at this time. And you say good morning to him, and he kind of furrows his brow, and he just gives you this look of just utter distaste and disdain. It might be. For some.
Yes, I know. I'm here to see the king.
You have a meeting? Appointment?
No. But I will see him.
No one sees the king. Least of all ashore.
Did you fight with him?
Yes.
Well, then I think you know the man he truly was.
I thought I did.
Yeah. I thought I knew what Greymore would be. I will see the king.
Don't get your hopes up. But I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. Yeah, and I would stand here and I would wait.
Mm-hmm. He turns and walks down the stairs behind the wall.
Mm-hmm.
About 15, 20 minutes goes by as the sun begins to slowly climb over the wall and the city ever so slightly begins to come to life, even in this still very early hour, as the lanterns along the road begin to go out. And the gate cracks open in front of you. And you see a slew of guards filter out and walk towards you. And that same grizzled guard among them. It appears your wish has been granted. Sure.
As the guards are filing out, is it like a clear indication of they are encircling me, or do they form like a line?
They're going to circle you, yes.
Yeah. I would just kind of bitterly, resigning myself, smile. Definitely my wish. Thank you. Yeah.
They begin to slowly lead you through the gate towards the castle as it
closes behind.
and you hear it slam behind you, kind of shuddering, because despite all of the clanging of metal and the loud sounds that you've heard recently, somehow that is the loudest.
Yeah. Just sits in the back of my mind like an echo.
Yeah.
As we are walking, I would try to be at least still close enough to the older man so this way he could hear me. Were you there when he... Have you ever seen a dragon?
Yes, I was there. As he looks forward and doesn't
Yeah.
acknowledge you, but is clearly talking to you.
I never really got a full story about what happened then. I know only that people stole a child, and that my father was the one who saw fit to barter peace. I inherited that nature. And I fear the dragon I am about to see.
As you should. Things haven't been right.
Yeah. Not all dragons have wings and fangs.
Some live in castles. I am sorry.
As am I.
Your father was a good man.
Yes, he was. And they killed him for it. I do not know if you've heard the fate of Goldview.
Word travels quickly.
Things that should be done to no living man were done to my father. I do not seek retribution. I seek to return the child.
I understand. But there are many that may not see it that way. And many of us keep up appearances. I am sorry for what you might endure here.
Yeah, I would just kind of let out a very small sigh. It is nothing compared to what my parents endured.
He just kind of
Yeah.
nods and continues looking forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would follow him to the castle steps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they walk you up these very tall kind of almost like Beauty and the Beast style stairs that kind of like extend outward at the edges and taper upwards. Yeah, made of stone. And leads you to the castle entrance through another set of double doors. And you make your way into this extremely tall central chamber with, again, this same red carpet that kind of leads its way directly towards what you would perceive to be the throne room through another set of large double doors that are, you can see have like barricade braces that are able to flip down over the door. They're currently obviously up, but in case of emergency can be flipped. And they lead you to it and creak these doors open also. This group of probably 15 guards just walking you with just you and this older man at the center of this circle as they kind of filter around these large stone pillars and lead you into the throne room. And as you make your way in, you see in this room, this large room with large, almost runways up at the top, a level up from the floor, kind of looking over the central throne area where there are other seats of nobility that are currently empty. And you see at the back the throne, a large gilded chair with red felt, or not felt, but red silk.
Silk lining.
At its back, and you see a man sitting with a crown, kneeling forward, head in his hand. And another man standing next to him. And they lead you towards the king. And he barely looks up as you approach. And this other man whispers into the king's ear. And he looks up and locks eyes with you. A Shaw has returned to Greymore.
The last Shaw, sir.
What brings you here?
I only wanted to look at your face and ask you why. He did so much for this city, for this kingdom, and you let them beat him. You let him die. Why? You've so many nights. We fed your people. Why?
Make a perception check with advantage.
13.
As the king utters these next words, you can see that he, despite the almost poisonous nature that these words are said, you can see the pain in his eyes that he is trying very difficult to not reveal. It's simple. Your father betrayed his people. He left when we needed him most, and that cannot be condoned by the kingdom of Fjordain. Leaves do not fall from this tree.
Yes, I know. They are cold. No leaf under my father's watch ever wilted. Nor has this one. I promise you that, sir.
What do you want? What is your name?
My name is Marcus Shaw IV, sir.
Of course it is.
I want whatever foul wickedness blights this kingdom from within these walls, that goes unnoticed here despite all the light of this city. I want to find it, and I want to cull it before it plagues the tree.
You watch as he just closes his eyes and opens them. A noble pursuit, but not one that the kingdom of Fjordan can sanction. And I'm afraid, Marcus Shaw IV, that you have taken your last steps as a free man inside this city. And you did so the moment you crossed into this castle and these grounds.
How close to me are the guards that are encircling me?
Probably
10
like
feet?
10 feet, yeah.
And how close is the elderly veteran knight?
He's next to you about 5 feet away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would absolutely, upon hearing that, because my maul is slung over
Mm-hmm.
my back with the handle up and the head of the maul down to the side by my hip. I would, upon hearing that, whisper as best as I can to the elderly man in front of me. I cannot surrender, and I will draw my maul.
Mm-hmm.
And I will hold it two-handed and look at the king and the man who stands at his side. And I will hold out the maul with the head gesturing at the man. And I will look him in the eyes and say, I see you for all the wickedness you are. And I promise, no leaf will fall in this kingdom. And I will drop my maul.
Mm-hmm.
And I will fall to my knees.
You see this man next to the king, just kind of a coy smile erupts onto his face.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at the king, and the king nods, and the guards begin to slowly encircle you.
Mm-hmm.
And as they grab you and pull your hands behind your back and shackle you, the king looks to the guards. Marcus Shaw, I sentence you to life in prison within this city. And as the guards begin to take you away, you see this man whisper into the king's ear, and the king raises his hand. Apologies. For a Shaw, the price is death. The city must witness the ending of your line.
Yeah, I would. Would that be said and his hand be raised before they have turned me around?
Yes.
Like as they're lifting me up?
Yeah.
I would look at the king and smile. My father was right. Dragons actually aren't all that scary.
The king's head just falls, and the guards lift you up and turn you and walk you out of the castle towards the prison nearby,
Yeah.
where you're to be kept. And they take you. They pull a bag over your head so you're unable to see which direction you're going, and they move you about. And they rip it off of you after you go down a few sets of stairs.
Yeah, like 5 minutes or so of me
Yeah.
being led has happened.
And you find yourself sitting in a cell alone.
Yeah.
Hood pulled off. And this older man stands at the doorway to your cell through the bars as the rest of the guards turn and begin to walk off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would. They left me in my armor for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I would look at my silver gauntlet and say to him, I don't need your apology, sir. It has only just begun. My name is Marcus Shaw. And the people of this city will know that, even if it is with a noose around my neck. They will know that the last Shaw died for this kingdom, not for the corruption that has so tightly made its way around its neck, like I'm sure that noose will find mine. Torm was right. Again, look at the gauntlet. You can definitely find a purpose in things. And there are people and purposes that are worth dying for.
Hold fast. And pray.
I do every day. As you said, my wish has been granted.
Good luck.
You as well.
He turns and walks off.
Mm-hmm.
And you are alone in your cell. In the dark. By only the light of a torch.
Yeah, like outside.
Outside, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And no, I would lean my head back against, I'm imagining, am I underground? Like, can I discern that I'm underground? Is it like cave walls behind me, or is it continued stone, like this is a constructed area?
Sure. It's stone. You do not see daylight, but you know that you did walk down sets of stairs, so it's difficult. You would assume that you were underground,
Yeah, but I'm still in a building, not in a...
Correct, yeah, not in like a cave. Yeah.
Yeah. I know, I would lean my head back against the wall. And I would begin removing my armor.
Just setting it aside.
Yep. And I would... Is there like a bench in here that I am seated on, or is it like just straight ground?
There is like one of those hanging bed things with just a simple like straw mat over this like wooden hanging thing.
Okay.
With a chain.
Okay.
There is also a bench as well. You're on the bench currently, but there is a bed
as well.
So yeah.
I would stand from the bench, and as I remove my armor, I would place it in a fashion that I would have traditionally, obviously on like an armor stand that is capable of supporting it. I would begin to place the breastplate and helm almost attached together, the gauntlets on the side, to almost perform effectively a reconstruction on the bench. And I would remove the silver gauntlet and lay it at the side, the greaves and everything in front of the bench. And then I would sit with my back against the bars and stare at my armor. And I would pray. I do not know if you have anything else for me.
Yeah, I'm going to cut to the other people and then cut back to you, I think.
Very good. Do you want all of them at the same time?
Yeah, you can send them all.
You can give each of them theirs then at the same time, since they are coming in at the same time.
Yeah. Do you want her to have found hers immediately, or do you want her to find it later?
I mean, as long as she, like, obviously just describe literally all of my shit is, like,
Sure.
my gold, my
Yeah.
coin, you know, all of my items and things like that. I only kept my maul, incense, my armor, my gauntlet, and then the drift globe, and I'm wearing the ring still.
Sure.
Everything else is
Sure.
in the room.
But the note is in her bag, correct?
The note would be, like, face up on my belongings, like, looking out.
Got it. Okay. How you guys doing?
I'm great.
It's good for now. Good.
Good. For now.
We'll see.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
Not allowed.
And then I'll be right back.
You really just... I was going to go to the bathroom, but I was like, no, I won't be rude.
It's the Brand Mid-Show podcast.
I'll go through it if you want to use this one.
Yeah, I'll use this one.
You guys can check
We're going to get started
Oh
here in a
no,
minute.
it's just us.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh.
Entertain everybody.
It's the Not Brand Mid-Show podcast.
Who is this?
I don't know.
I don't-
It's you. You're the host.
Oh no, it's me.
I'm just a guest.
Hi. I don't know which character I am.
You're gonna have to pick one. Give the people what they want.
I don't think any of my characters would be able to
Would host a podcast?
Would host a podcast.
None of them.
I mean,
Dandelion might accidentally host a podcast.
Dandelion would like wander into a podcast for sure, but like she would
Is
have
that a
no,
camera?
She would have no idea what's going on.
She thinks it's a mirror.
Yeah, like people would be asking her questions and she'd be like, "Oh yeah, you know, tubbers and."
Tubbers.
But like Ritora would just kind of be like, I'm busy.
So Dandelion's podcast would be like Dandelion's Handshake Happy Hour.
Yeah.
I think that's there's some gold material there. She has guests on. She learns their secret handshake.
Their trade handshakes.
The trade handshake. The handshake of their people.
That's how the word spreads about the handshakes.
Next thing you know, everybody thinks it's a thing.
Not everyone thinks it's a thing. It just is a thing.
It is a thing, sure. Yeah. She actually manifests it into reality. She exerts her will upon the world.
Pulls at the weave. Makes
Turns
it
out she's
happen.
actually a sorcerer.
Yeah, she's been a sorcerer the whole time. Magic's always been in here. Oberon? Who needs him?
Who needs him? Welcome back to the Brand Mid-Show podcast.
Oh, thank you. Any spell weavers in chat? No? Yeah? What's up, everybody?
I don't know. This is one of those weird times where, like, I should probably have chat up on my phone, but I don't.
I also
So
don't.
I'm, like, shouting into the void.
Chat's not really moving much.
That's fine.
Hello, chat. I
But
can see
anybody
you.
that's
Hello.
here paying attention, I'm practically shouting into the void. I have no idea if you're paying attention.
I can see if you're paying attention.
I can
There
also
you have
see.
it.
I mean, I guess I can't see if you're paying attention. I can see if you're interacting with the chat.
She can see into your homes.
Hi, everybody.
She knows when you're sleeping.
What do you think these big old glasses
She knows
are
when
for?
you're awake.
Oh, no. Don't
She knows if you've been bad or good.
peanut man me right now. Don't do it.
I think you mean the peanut man.
The peanut man, I will murder him.
You can't murder the peanut man.
Oh, I will. Oh,
It seems we
it's
have
the last
some
thing I do.
invisibility in the chat.
Ooh. Ooh.
We love to see it, or I guess not see it.
No, we love to see it.
Yeah.
So we know what went down. We know what went down, right?
Do we?
Yeah. I
We
mean,
don't-
he's.
I don't know, actually.
I'm assuming he's
I
gone.
wasn't
I'm
in the
asleep.
room. That's my guess, based on speculation.
I'm gonna assume he's been taken. He's gone now. He's in the ground.
We'll see. We'll see. It'll all depend
Let's go on a zany side adventure. Abandon everybody else.
We must find ice cream.
Yeah, we're actually just gonna go look for ice cream.
Yeah.
That's how the rest of this episode's going.
A wonderful day in the city.
Yeah,
Are there
don't worry,
ice-
I took the fun spells.
Are there ice cream trucks in
Are there hot dog stands?
Are there hot dog stands?
Shit. I'm gonna say there's some meat stands.
Does Dudley have a Pillow Emporium outpost in the city?
Oh my god.
He does not.
Damn.
Fuck.
I know.
I want to look for a plot of land.
To open a side palace.
No, wrong campaign.
Every campaign.
Every campaign. You guys awaken the next morning. The two of you are in individual rooms, correct? Those two are sharing a room, and you two are sharing a room, right?
Yeah.
So that's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the two of you awaken, obviously, alone in your room. There's not suddenly strangers in your beds. I
There
mean,
are
maybe
peanut shells.
there's peanut shells everywhere, yeah.
Are you serious?
No. No. I have not consulted with John of whether or not, what the ramifications of me adding the Peanut Man would be. So I can't, in good conscience, do that at this moment.
We know he's a planeswalker. Anyway.
Dandelion, you awaken and you see Marcus's belongings. Aside from the, like, his armor and his maul are not here, but his other belongings are in the room, laid on his bed, laid on the dresser, and there is a note sitting amongst the belongings. And Shay, as you stand and make your way around the room, you find one slipped under the door.
I have a very important question.
Yes.
Can Dandelion read
Yeah.
common?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can read.
Okay.
Unless you don't want to.
No, you can.
This sign can't stop me.
What are you up to, Ren?
I'm just waking up, chilling, prepping some spells, just looking through my spell book.
Getting ready for breakfast?
What rambunctious spells can I pick today? Yesterday I chose Disguise Self. What will I choose today? Who knows?
How are the rooms arranged? You said, I think last time there's the main building, and then there was a courtyard, and then another portion to
Yeah,
this.
so you guys are up, and then through a set of double doors, there's a hallway, and you have Mr. Pigeon and Twig, you, Rin, and then Dandelion and Marcus.
Okay. I went up to bed at the same time as
Yeah, you would all
before
kind of,
him, but around
Yeah.
the same time that they came up.
Yes,
so I
correct.
guess I would fold my note up and. All right. I'm gonna go check on Dandelion.
Yeah, you hear your friends kind of stirring in their rooms.
Open the door.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Assume Marcus isn't here.
Yeah, he left a note. He said he wanted to pray.
All right.
He left some of his stuff though.
Ren, you hear voices in the hall. You
Perhaps that's
overhear
good
them
news.
Talking about Marcus.
We should, He didn't say where.
No. He last night he said it was dangerous, that they might get him.
Oh.
So I don't know where he went, but
He
might
did
not
say
be
that they
safe.
didn't like him very much in the city.
mhm.
Something to do with his father.
Mhm.
Perhaps we could search about, see if we can either find him or find anything out. Keep an eye out for that mirror. You needed to go somewhere in the city, yes? For that?
Yes, the look, like this is like a suite that we're in.
Yeah.
What was the vampire lady's name?
Elena.
Elena said to check the black market.
Night market.
Night market. But it's daytime, so probably
In the evening, then.
in the evening.
She didn't happen to say where you might find such a thing. It's not the sort of thing I think we should ask about openly.
I think we have to ask.
Well, we
I
should be
think
careful about who we ask.
I think she said something about asking at seedy places. So maybe a bakery.
Marcus said something about the wharf. Oh, goodness. No, not those sort of seats. Danger. It's a turn of phrase.
Why are seeds dangerous?
Anything could come out of them.
That's true.
You never know. You just have to wait. Hope it's not danger.
It could be something poisonous.
It could be.
Or those plants that...
Perhaps we could ask in a garden.
Don't look at me. I'm in my room.
Get out of the room.
I'm looking about. Do I hear anybody else shuffling? No noise from
You
from,
hear
from the clown and the
you
cat.
hear zero noise from the clown and the cat.
Those that shall not be named.
Yeah, those who shall not be perceived. You don't hear any noise from them.
I think to myself that she finally got him.
He said
Is there
peace.
a milk spill slowly trickling out from under the door?
Tainted with blood.
Oh my god!
No. Yeah, no sound
When
from
they
the room.
shuffled off to bed the previous night, he was supposed to come with me, and
She dragged him away.
And he was like, so
Yeah.
I will assume that they need a moment, so I'll just leave him be.
Yeah.
But do I hear this man shuffling? You
Yeah.
shuffling?
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear him shuffling. You hear him
You're
shuffling.
my familiar flying around the room. You know, flap, flap, flap.
We should gather the young master.
Fuck!
I don't think we should leave Marcus's stuff here.
Are we going to come back and stay here again?
I don't know, but that... I still don't trust that man.
Sure. What did he leave behind?
There's like his bag of belongings,
Yeah,
right?
his drift globe, his gold.
Everything but the armor.
Yeah, his
Essentially, the armor and the weapon.
Yes. I think he might have also taken something else as well, but for the most part,
His, like-
it's like all of his.
His
Did
like
he bring
spell
the
focus
mushroom?
or whatever.
Yes, yeah, he kept his drift globe. Okay, you don't see that.
Okay. So it's like
His
most
holy
of a
symbol and
bag of
stuff
stuff.
is with him, but yeah, his bag of like normal stuff. and his
Is
gold.
it so much stuff that it couldn't be carried by somebody that can carry about 45 more pounds?
We could split it.
That's a great question. I don't know what Marcus had. His iron spikes, his bucket, his whistle, his gold, and silver. So I'm gonna say you probably can't carry the iron spikes.
Didn't he
It's
leave-
40 pounds of stuff, so never mind. You can. You're
I
good.
could carry it.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. I guess I would
Thank you, John.
step into the room
Shuffle his stuff in your
and
bag.
yeah, gather
Dandelion would
this
try to
stuff
pick it up
up.
first. Probably wind
I
up
can-
encumbered and...
think I can handle it actually. It's
Yeah,
not too much.
Dandelion just kind of like begins to tip a little bit as she, with all force.
You're going to need room in case we find the mirror.
It's true.
I'll take care of this. Just in case.
We'll
They're
have to
very
find-
useful items. You never know when we're going to need a bucket and some spikes.
It's a couple sacks of gear.
Okay.
The old,
Yeah.
the old spike
I'd figure
trap.
out a way to carry
Yeah.
it that wasn't awkward.
Sure. Yeah, you kind of like strap them to your existing bag and
Mhm,
stuff, and
mhm,
you're
mhm.
definitely more weighed down than you were. You're not encumbered, but you're close.
Are the mushrooms in there?
In the bag,
Yes.
Marcus, did you keep your mushrooms? Were they in your bag? The mushrooms are there. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'd gather that
I'll
stuff
take those back.
and
I don't even remember how many there were, but...
turn back to Dandelion.
Hmm?
Shall we gather the young master? After you?
Probably.
Did he leave you the key?
Did he leave the key somewhere?
To his room, I would assume so.
I mean, I was asleep in there, so.
Yeah.
You would have had to.
He would have had to have, yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
So, grab the key. Send Shimmer out to go get Rin. He flies over to you. Lands on your head.
He
How?
can't get in.
Oh, is your door still closed?
Yeah. I haven't left my
Does he
room.
weasel onto the door like a fax
I'm-
machine?
yeah, no.
How big's the
I'm-
gap under the door?
I'm listening to this conversation,
Then
like
I
half
would-
knowing what's going on. I'm like, oh man, dodged.
And I would open the
Didn't
window.
get taken.
No, I don't have to explain everything. Like, whew.
Open the window.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Let Shimmer go out the window and try and get into Rin's room.
Is your window open or closed?
It's,
You left
The
it
storm.
it
open.
was storming last night, so I would have opened it.
Yeah,
The tag team.
I would have woken up and been like, yay.
No!
Bamboozle!
Yeah, Shimmer sails into your room and lands on your
Just snap.
He's on your head.
I've got him.
head. Yeah, you got him. He just looks at you, just like a little puff of smoke.
All right. Football. Your turn. Gather my stuff.
Just,
Even
like,
land on my shoulder and
wiggling.
open the door.
Yeah, he's vibing.
You could have just knocked.
That's not me. That's Shimmer. I'm here.
Who sent you, Shimmer?
She makes a valid point.
Just
He shrugs his wings.
Shimmer's his own man.
He's just like,
I'll just flicker like just a little bit of fire. Talk.
he's just vibing.
he doesn't care. All right.
Little puff of smoke. And
All right, I'll
he's
let him
vibing.
go.
He's vibing. Yeah,
He doesn't go anywhere.
He doesn't go anywhere.
He just.
You ever like have like you I don't know if you pick up like bugs, but you ever like go to move a bug somewhere
Yeah.
and it just doesn't leave your hand,
So I go like this, and he just
He just kind of looks at you.
just like
all
draped
right.
over.
I'll just put him on my other shoulder then. I'll just have the familiars.
We seem to be short one Marcus.
Why do you have all of his things?
He left this note.
Dandelion doesn't trust the innkeeper.
He doesn't know the handshake.
It's very true.
Shay.
Please.
We're talking later.
Sure. Yes, he did leave a note, yes. I'm gonna lean over and go, you'll see here. It says he went to pray, and I'm gonna slide a hand my note to it.
Yeah, make a sleight of hand check, Dandelion. What's your passive?
Passive perception,
Mhm.
13.
15.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So you don't see it, and you slip the note over the one like to Ren. As Dandelion's just kind of vibing,
Always vibing.
always vibing.
I think we should see if we can find where he went to pray. See if anybody has heard of his whereabouts, perhaps.
Of course. Dandelion, why don't you lead the way, and I'll hand you your note back. And sleight of hand it.
All right, go ahead, sleight of hand.
Shit. All right, let me check this. Where is it? Oh no. Oh, all right. Well, that's 9.
Okay. Yeah. So you see him slip something to Shay.
As I see her eyes follow up toward it, I'll go, what's this? Did he leave you a note as well? Oh, you shouldn't have. That's far too kind, Master. Shuffle this into my pocket.
I will say nothing.
Sure.
I'll just.
I'm going to wink at him. Where should we start?
We can't go to the night market yet. It's daytime.
It is daytime. He probably didn't. Well, do you know what time he left?
No, I was asleep. We both went to bed at the same time, I think. I might have gone to bed earlier. Did I see Marcus go to bed?
I don't know if you would have fallen asleep because he was standing by the window,
Mm-hmm.
so probably not.
I think I fell asleep before he did. He might be tired.
Perhaps. Perhaps he went to find your night market. Just didn't want to let you know. Maybe he wanted to surprise you.
That sounds like something he would do.
So,
Please don't make me make a deception check.
places of worship? Night market?
Uh-huh.
Anywhere else we might find a mirror?
Regular market, perhaps?
Regular market, perhaps?
I don't think he's a reader, so probably not the library,
No.
What's a library?
where a lot of books are kept.
Oh,
It's a book place.
book place, yes. I think we have a different name for that. I'd say the word library in Sylvan.
Sure.
Oh.
Sylvan Library?
It's library.
Common is not her first language. She
Gotcha.
knows what a potato is.
Tell her.
Okay.
She's naive, not stupid.
Maybe, I mean, if all else fails, maybe he went to the theater district looking for some.
Man, he'd like to fight. He does love fighting.
He did talk about that yesterday as well. I think maybe the was it what are the gods? Tyr?
Tyr and Torm.
Maybe we can check.
If there's a temple.
He asked about a temple for Tyr last.
For Tyr and Torm.
Yeah.
Did I see any while I was out and about?
No, so you saw smaller ones on the second street, but you did see a large cathedral over the wall in the Divine District.
Based on the contents of my note, my love note from the young master, where might I think would be a good place to look for?
It's a great question because I didn't read it, so I actually don't know what it says. I would love to read it.
I would love. For
I
you
should
to-
have.
I'd love for you to read it.
I think the innkeeper mentioned the church.
All right. That's not a bad place to start.
Mhm.
I'm sure there will be some amount of people there.
Marcus asked.
If he's not there, we could at least ask if anybody's seen him. Or
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds good.
He's kind
typically-
of tall.
shirtless.
I can.
Kind of stands out.
Did he take his armor?
Yes.
He did.
Okay.
But that's
That would
also
be too
kind of
heavy.
obvious. He's very,
We should be able to spot him pretty easily, or if somebody would spot
you
him.
could always do that thing you did the other day.
I can do that thing too.
It's very true.
Maybe not now. Save it.
Yes, what if we need to ask somebody and they need an image to go
That's
off
true.
of?
I can't do it for very long.
Thank you very much, John.
I think we're going to leave the other two. I'm not sure what they were on about last evening, but give them time. I don't hear them shuffling about. Perhaps they stayed up later.
Perhaps.
Yeah, you're nothing.
Mr. Pigeon could be dead.
Nothing? Knock on the door?
No answer.
You don't think that...
I think when I came back, she said something about not wanting to be perceived.
Right.
I'm gonna point
Yeah.
Shimmer out the window
Mhm.
and have him go around
Sure.
and look into their window.
Yeah, so you look through Shimmer's eyes,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, you are met with a black curtain drawn over the window.
Are the other curtains black?
No. Came from the sleeves.
No, they are.
Shimmer can't see in.
He carries around room darkening curtains.
Blackout curtains.
That would be awesome.
He actually might.
All the
I'm
other
very
curtains
honest.
are pure white.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that he does.
Anything?
The curtains are closed.
I'm sure they'll hold down the fort. It can't be hard to find Mr. Pigeon.
No, he's easier to spot than Marcus.
That's very true. A problem for later. For now, we find a church.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Where might I think he would have ended up based on my walkthrough of the city and this note?
Based on that and the note from Dandelion about going to pray, you would assume that he would have gone to the cathedral to pray to Tormentir. And you... From that, I mean, I don't know that you would be able to deduce exactly where he ended up, but probably that things are not great.
What are you talking about?
So I didn't see any buildings where things that aren't great might go down.
No.
Okay.
To the church.
Yep. And off we go.
Mm-hmm.
Got some rations. Skip breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you guys walk downstairs and through the courtyard into the tavern, and you see a man with man face behind the bar who just kind of, morning, do you need anything before you head out for the day?
Do you have any
big
cheese?
plans? We have cheese, yes.
Can I have some cheese?
Sure, what kind? Cheese it is. And he-
She'll just...
Yep. Yeah, he pulls out a like small triangular
I don't
shape.
suppose I could get the usual to go.
Sure. Yes, give me a moment. I'll be right back with that.
Very good.
He hands that to you. Any big plans for the day?
Make it 2.
No
Sure.
Cheese?
big plans.
More
Just
cheese?
No, not cheese.
2 of the
I'm good
usual
on
to
cheese.
Yes.
first full day in the city, just getting
Browsing.
our bearings.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well, if you need
Yes.
any suggestions,
My suggestion would be, don't wake the clan.
But do leave a pitcher of milk.
sure.
Do it. I'm giving you coins, sir. You will do it.
I'm giving him
Or
point
I
for the
will
usual.
lunge over the counter.
Sure. Two usuals. And he steps away.
Dandelion will just break off something for cheese.
Mhm.
What kind of cheese is it?
Like
a
what kind
hard-
of cheese do you want? It's a hard cheese.
It's
yeah.
a hard cheese.
Yeah, it's a hard cheese. Yeah, none of this soft shit.
Excuse me?
It's gotta be preserved.
Ain't no
There's
soft
there's no
shit.
refrigerators. It's gotta be
You know,
hard
it's-
cheese.
I mean, brie is a soft cheese.
How long can that sit though? It's hard
This is a
cheese.
fantasy
Depends
world.
on if you want it
It's
to be
hard
good.
cheese.
It's hard cheese.
It's hard break.
Hard breed.
What's wrong with your cheese, Dandelion?
Nothing. I'm eating cheese.
Okay.
A few minutes
I'm
go
offended
by.
by the insinuation that soft cheese is somehow worse.
No, it's not. It's
than hard
just
cheese. Because I would argue that soft cheese is
it's not worse.
much better than hard
Soft
cheese.
cheese is great. So he walks back, and you guys get 2 like sandwiches wrapped in like a little like cloth with eggs and vegetables and bacon.
And in his other hand?
Another sandwich, one for each of you. The usual to go. Everything that has the usual shoved into a sandwich to go.
Great.
No, Master. We should
And
keep moving.
he looks in between both of you. I'll take care of it. Have a great day.
I wait, and I'm just staring at him with a nasty look.
Dandelion's walking out the door.
Good luck.
On the way out the door, I will
Turn to the young master and say, I heard he killed a man once for leaving milk at the door.
loudly enough that you could hear it.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Bye.
I wave to him. Expect milk later.
All right. You guys walk outside. Where are you headed? To the temple, you said?
Yeah, if I would have seen a cathedral type building somewhere, I would head in that vague direction.
Sure. Yes, you head north up Lamplighters Way until you get to the crossing, which is a fairly large street, a little bit larger than the rest of them in terms of width between the buildings. And you can see that it leads to the east to this large central stone wall that kind of divides the city in two, but there is a large gap in between the wall that people are making their way through, and you see a market on the other side. And you can see in the distance, because this wall is not like gigantically tall as the way that the outer walls are, you see the cathedral to the northern side of that half of the city.
Where is this?
It's in the Divine District. You are at the crossing, which is on the regular map. It's in between the Silver District and the Sovereign District.
Oh, got it. So it's not on any of the small maps that you
Correct.
Gave us. Okay.
It is. It's on the Silver District at the top. And it is on the Sovereign District at the bottom. So it's in between those two districts.
How many people are out and about? What time of day is it?
I'd say it's probably about like 7 o'clock.
How many people are out and about at this hour?
The city is fairly lively for being this early. It's not like it's not swarms of people. There are definitely some late sleepers, but most of the market stalls are open at this point.
Storefronts look to be up and moving.
Yeah, for the most part.
General demeanor of the city folk compared to the general demeanor of the city folk the previous day?
Sure. They seem mostly okay. There is still kind of this air of like, about everybody, but not quite. They don't look so dead inside like they did the previous day. It's still not like, it's not great, but it's not awful.
It's on brand.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Dandelion's just like skipping down.
Yeah. Vibing.
Yeah. Really vibing.
Can I make sure that I always have an eye on Dandelion?
Sure.
Dead inside or drained?
Go ahead and roll.
Insight?
Yeah, insight.
Both.
Oh no. That's not good. That is 9. What the fuck are you rolling?
It's impossible to tell their age. No.
It's a dark
No.
Sorry?
They wear leather masks.
It doesn't look like they are magically affected in terms of being drained. They're not like sunken in, like their life essence is being sucked
not
away
magically.
from them. Correct.
Just emotionally.
Scientifically.
Just they're down a pint.
They don't look super happy, but they don't look like they've had their life sucked.
Okay.
Yeah.
But their life sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Dandelion's gonna stop at every like crossroad
Sure.
and just like
Look out.
look around.
Sure.
If she stops long enough at each crossroad for me to catch up to her, I'll just tap her on the shoulder and keep pointing toward the direction we want to move.
Sure. So that was you move toward again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sure. You make your way through the crossing, and into the market, into the wall market, into the.
We're going into Wall Market?
You're going into wall market.
Nice.
Into Merchant's Village. And you can see that there are a large number of stalls and stands around, along with some, like, smaller kind of streets of buildings that kind of, like, curve their way along, kind of haphazardly a little bit. They don't look to be labeled or anything. It's just kind of a bunch of stuff really, like, shoved together in this area. And you see to the north, towards the cathedral, you see what you perceive and know to be the theater district, and beyond that, the barracks. And then beyond that is the Divine District, where the cathedral kind of rises up over these other buildings.
Alright. I'd keep pointing Dandelion in the right direction if she stops, and I would be keeping a general eye out for any sort of trouble.
Sure. Make a perception check for me.
Yeah.
While we're walking, Dandelion will look for anywhere she could like maybe get up high and get like a good a good view. Like
Okay.
if there's like a roof that seems accessible somehow.
Sure. So I will tell you that. Let me check something real quick. So as you were making your way north towards the crossing, you would have seen on the wall to your left, the outer wall, along with the wall, the inner wall, that there was a street labeled Crow's Nest Alley that has ladders that lead up the wall to be able to look out over the outside of the city and also over the market. So we can roll back to you not having gotten to the crossing yet if you wanted to do that, or if you want to have not done that and are just looking to like climb on something, that's also fine.
I think she would have just been looking at ground level at that point.
Sure.
Having not found Marcus yet.
Sure. Yeah, I'll say that there's like a building that has a set of stairs that runs up the side of it that you could run up to be like second story level to look at, but there's not something that's going to get you like a far look over anything. But you could get a decent look, a story up over like the general market, at least with the stalls and things like that. But if you wanted to do that, you're welcome to do that. Sure. Make a perception check for me.
I got a 13 on my trouble check.
Okay.
I would be carrying myself like somebody who had no idea what trouble is.
Sure. Understood.
I'm a tourist.
Yeah.
I mean, you look like
With
with
a
all the
child.
bags.
Yeah.
With all the bags? Yeah.
14 for me.
Okay.
Got my visor on.
You want to borrow my goggles?
So you don't, Shay, you don't notice really any trouble that you can perceive from where you are right now. You still get
no shady characters, nobody looking like they're looking for people that are unwitting.
no. You can you can definitely tell. Make an insight check for me as well, if you could.
3.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you get the same demeanor pretty much from the people that you did yesterday, like we had just described, with the people being like kind of disheartened. You don't see anybody that's like actively scanning, like head on a swivel looking for stuff. There's nothing that stands out to you as being off.
Sure. I would just be keeping as we walk, I would just keep
Yeah.
a general eye out for the sorts of things that I would associate with, like pickpockets.
Sure.
People looking for an opportunity to like jump somebody that's unwitting.
Sure. I would say that you
Presumably
do,
not in the middle of the market, but
absolutely. Yeah,
I'd be
I'll
keeping
say,
an eye out for anybody like toward the edges of things that
Sure.
looks like they might.
Sure. I'll say that you do see like one or two people that look like they're pickpocketing in the distance that are not near you. So those types of people do exist, but there are none that are in your immediate like danger zone vicinity of it being a problem to any of you.
Be making sure they're not anywhere near Dandelion.
Yeah. Dandelion. So as you run up these stairs and kind of look out, you can see that there are a bunch of people like walking around to different stalls purchasing, breads and meats and a bunch of different things. There are some people picking up little like trinkets and looking around and kind of, you're not able to get like a really any sense of like words from the crowd or anything. It's just kind of a big mismatch of everyone talking at once, to where you can't really filter out anything in particular. It just looks like a market to you. You don't see Marcus. You don't see really anybody that looks like Marcus. You can see that there are some guards around in shiny armor that you guys had seen yesterday, but nothing immediately like stands out of just being like that's Marcus or Marcus, marked something. Nothing like that.
If she didn't see anything, she'd probably have Shimmer
Fly up. Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check. You don't have to, actually. You pretty much more of the same. You can see that there are just people moving about this market. Do you have him go anywhere else, or just focusing on the market right now?
So I can't communicate with him
Correct.
if he gets too far away.
Yeah.
So I'd have him do like around where we
Sure.
are.
Yeah. You don't really get too much that stands out to you as like odd or anything. It's just kind of people mulling about.
Jump
When
back
she
down.
went up those stairs, she was still within eyesight of where
Yep.
we were at on the road.
Yep.
Alright. Yeah, just making sure she doesn't
Yeah.
disappear on me.
Sure. You
Jump back down.
run back down.
Meet up with
Shay and Ren.
Are you guys together?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure. How long was she up on the stairs?
Probably like 2 minutes, 2 or
Sure.
3 minutes. So if you want to say something to Ren,
Yeah, I mean, I probably would have turned to you and said,
What do you make of the lack of Marcus?
What do you mean, lack of Marcus?
It's strange for him to not be with Dandelion.
He said that he might have some trouble in the city. Why I needed to keep my distance when we came in.
For some reason, I think he wanted us to go to the wharf. But we should keep up appearances and check the church first. I think Dandelion needs to check CD locations for that mirror anyways.
Okay. Yeah, we can check the church anyway.
Keep your wits about you.
Okay.
For danger. It's a city. Young master.
Why did you whisper it like that? Oh, okay, I will. I was informed that there could be unsavory types in
Very good.
these kingdoms.
Very good. Oh, she's coming back.
Oh.
Did you find anything?
I didn't see him.
All right.
There's a lot of people here.
Onward to the church.
I was just telling Shay about that. So many people.
This is more people than I've ever seen.
I haven't seen too many seedy characters yet.
Would they be feeding birds?
Perhaps.
I'll keep an eye out.
Dangerously, if they were feeding birds.
Big birds.
Like a lot of
Really
Big birds.
No, big chunks of bread.
That's pretty dangerous to birds.
Yes,
It's very true.
They should probably be using seeds.
that's what birds eat.
Yes.
Do we notice anybody feeding birds bread?
yeah, for sure, absolutely. There's a few people just kind of tossing out seeds and little pieces of bread.
They don't look dangerous.
Get him.
I'll just blast it.
The bird or the
Evil! Get away, bird!
To the church?
That's probably where he is.
He did say he was going to pray.
I think that's...
He is a very holy man. Perhaps he's been praying this whole time. However long he was not in your room.
For sure.
Very good. That way.
So you guys make your way up through the theater district and into. You cut into the artisans.
Oh, the theater district.
The theater
The
district.
theater.
Yes, the theater district.
Are there
You're
any
seeing
men
MILFs.
Marcus would like to fight here?
Yeah, there's definitely some. There's
That's
definitely
MILFs
some,
with 2 M's.
Yeah. Ned Marcus.
MILFs.
Yeah, there's definitely a few around. Some burly types.
Are we talking?
Some burly-
Okay, I was like,
Some burly
wait.
types.
Yeah, there's some burly boys for
Keep
sure.
that.
Okay.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Yes, you cut your way into the theater district, into the artisans ward, and into the divine district, and you find yourself on the center road in the divine district, which you see labeled the Path of Reverence, as you make your way north towards this large hulking cathedral on the other side of a small iron fence that is not gated or anything. But you can see that it's made of a light gray slate stone with pillars and towers and spires cascading up towards the sky. You see carvings of Torm and Tyr, as well as a few soldiers and the crest of Fjordain in the stone itself. And the front of this church is embellished with a large stained glass window with the crest of Fjordain, which I can describe if you guys don't remember what it is.
Are there buttresses on this church?
There are buttresses, yes.
Very good.
You better climb these.
So Fjordain's crest is a shield with a purple background, a blue cross, and a griffin at its center.
Have we seen any griffins?
No.
What sort of foot traffic at the church?
You can see at this hour there are people making their way up the path of reverence towards the church to go pray for the day.
Dressed any sort of specific way? All sorts of people?
All sorts of people, yeah. There are some dressed in robes and things.
Do any of them look particularly reverent?
Yes, like one in all white robes. Maybe he appears as though he doesn't belong in the group.
Not where you're currently walking. But I will say, as you guys make your way up this path and get closer to the cathedral,
Gain purchase on the
you gain
cathedral.
purchase. Motherfucker! Your feet gain purchase on the road. As you make your way past these larger, fancier buildings than the ones that you guys had seen previously, you can see that this road that immediately runs in front of the cathedral and kind of angles down towards where the wall is. You can see that there is another hole in the wall that has a gate in front of it that is open, and you can see that there are guards and there are sets of nobles and very more upscale people filtering through that gate, opposed to us walking where you guys are walking up the path with the more common folk. So you do see people like that walking along from that gate up this road labeled the Hallowed Steps, which also exists in the other side of the city just below King's Way on the map, that cuts through the wall at the center through a gate and curves upward before running in front of the cathedral
They all
itself.
look noble type?
Yes, the people coming through that gate definitively look noble and higher up. Wealthy.
Do guards look like they're checking them, or do they look like they're just generally present and all these people are dressed? Do the people look notable, or do they just look fancy?
They look noble. They look like nobility. You can see that there are a few common folk that kind of unknowingly made their way into the Sovereign District and made their way to this gate and are being turned around to go the other way.
Okay. What's the disparity in dress?
They are in the people coming through this gate are much fancier robes. There's a lot more gilding on their clothing.
Are any of us even close?
No, absolutely not.
One of us could be.
Yeah,
Huh?
in comparison to them, none of you are close.
No, Dandelion? Dandelion, what are you doing? Okay. Are you doing it?
No.
You just look at me and grin and... Now?
Are we going?
Does it seem like there's any commotion here besides people just filtering in normally?
No, not really. It's just people filtering in for the most part.
On the way here, did we see any sort of angry at a young man who shouldn't be here sort of commotion anywhere in the distance? Any sorts of large groups of guards or anything like that on the way here?
Not present.
Okay. Nothing immediately stands out.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nothing that you can immediately tell is
We see a general lack of guards anywhere on the way here, that maybe there should have been more, but they got diverted to something else.
No, I don't think so either. There's kind of a light guard presence kind of everywhere.
Similar to whatever guard presence there was outside of the parade route yesterday. Because I went outside of the route to a degree.
Yep. Yeah, not really anymore. Not really
Similar.
else. Yeah, you
every
don't notice.
couple streets or so, a couple milling about.
Yeah, you don't notice
Something
any
like
sort
that.
of commotion, other than obviously the heavier guard presence at the gate itself. There are a few also in the grounds of the cathedral, which is grass, as you make your way through this iron fence. And then there's a set of the same colored stone staircase that kind of like cascades upward towards this raised cathedral.
Shall we?
Mm-hmm.
After you.
I will march on.
Yeah.
March on it.
You guys make your way up these stairs through these large wooden double doors. As, traditional, like, cathedral style, very gigantic
Doors that are so big that they shouldn't be doors anymore.
Yes, pretty much, yeah. Big doors.
Big enough for a giant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not enough room for Jack.
And you make your way into this cathedral made of this same stone as the outside. You can see that there are wooden pews that line in sections of 3, an outer section and then a middle one, with sets of red carpet lining the area between the pews. Towards this, as John described it to me, apparently it is called a sanctuary, where the priest speaks. I was not aware that it was called that, but that's what it is. So you see a rounded area that's raised up slightly with a pedestal and a large wall behind it in a kind of like a half circle, essentially, like a large half circle that kind of keeps everything, the holy sanctuary in that area. You can see that on the left there is a statue of Tyr, and on the right one of Torm, very large stone statues, and the glass windows, stained glass windows that line the church on either side. You see Tyr, Torm, Crest of Fjordan, Tyr, Torm, Crest of Fjordan as they lead their way towards this center area. And immediately at the back, above that area, let's see which one's at the back. So the Crest of Fjordan is the one immediately at the back. It mirrors the one at the front. The one of Torm is a large silver gauntlet at the center of rainbow-colored glass window with white beams of light reflecting, representing holy light kind of bouncing off of this. And the one of Tyr is a set of golden scales balanced, resting on top of a silver warhammer with a wooden handle made of brown-colored glass, which sits on a similarly rainbow-colored window with white streaks of holy light casting off of it. So they are very ornate windows.
Okay.
And you guys stand at the entrance to this large, massive cathedral at the back, and that's where you're at. You can see that there are a few people about in the pews, heads bowed, kind of scattered around in different areas of this church.
I'm gonna walk down like the aisles of the pews and just peer.
Sort of looking under the pews. As long as she's still within eyesight, I would not hurry to keep up, but I'd move if she started getting too far ahead or dipping out the side.
I would also say on the iron gate outside, you would have seen that this was labeled the High Seat.
Okay.
General world knowledge of religions. Would this be, generally speaking, a holy day, i.e. like Sunday, or are all days that people come to a church in this world, or a different day,
like
a Sunday, but not a Sunday?
Gathering.
Yes, you would say this is not a gathering day. This is just
This is
open
people that are
individually
observing
devout.
their own practice throughout the rest of their normal life.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not full. It's a city, so there's probably a decent number of people, but it's not like packed.
Yeah, it's
full of
not
people.
full.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask. Do I see Marcus?
No, you do not see Marcus.
Okay, had to check.
Yeah.
You see anybody perturbed about seeing Marcus?
Hey, did we see any?
Is there anybody that seems
upset?
tense? Any sort of commotion that it seems to have happened here recently enough that it might be worth checking into? Or is everybody just kind of minding their own business quietly?
Sure. Everybody seems to be minding their own business. Your welcome to ask someone if they saw something, but nobody appears like perturbed in any way. But I will remind you that the majority of the common folk that you interacted with did not seem to react negatively to Marcus's presence the way that the nobility did when they saw him. And the majority of the nobility that is now filtering in does not look to have taken their seats yet. And at whatever hour you assume Marcus would have come by, you would assume that the nobility was likely not around yet.
Sure. I would not think that people would linger here super long. Like, if people were... It's not a gathering day.
Sure.
So, like, I wouldn't think that I'd be able to, like, nudge somebody just, like, kneeling down to pray and be like, you didn't happen to be here, like, for the last 6 hours.
Sure. Yeah, you guys don't know if he came through here when he did. I will say that you would know that there are people that would linger in places like this if they were struggling particularly on a certain day about something and they needed guidance. They might linger for longer.
So I'd be looking for 2 different kinds of people.
Yes.
One, somebody who looks like they're having a real rough go of it that might have been here.
Yeah.
2, I don't know what sorts of clergy are at this church building, but if any of them look more common themselves and not
absolutely
uppity,
sure,
that might have been here tending to the flock at a time that our armored friend may have come through.
Sure. Make a perception check with advantage for me. Ren, are you looking for anything or anyone in particular, or are you just kind of like awestruck at the scenery?
No, I'd probably be taking it in, keeping an eye on the little one, and looking up at the nobility.
Sure. Dandelion.
The little one is looking for secret compartments as well.
Oh no.
It's a 10.
10. Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me. I'll give you advantage because you're looking for a secret compartment, which you have been wanting to do for quite some time.
She's been trained.
Yes.
We made sure of that.
13.
Okay. So I'm going to say that you find behind one of the pews, behind one of the legs of it, you find a book tucked away.
It's like a Bible that someone like left on the pew.
Yeah, well, but it's under the seat. It does appear as though it's hidden. You pull it out and you
open it.
Flip open, and you can see that cut into the Bible. This holy songbook is a little space for like a ball and cup toy that is sitting nestled in the book. So you've found some kid's secret toy stash that's kind of doesn't really want to be here and is just quietly entertaining himself before slipping.
I'd argue
back
that a
in
ball
there.
and cup toy is the loudest possible option to like.
I'll say that
quietly
it's like a cloth ball. It's not like a wooden ball. So it is actually pretty
imagine
quiet.
being like a quiet church.
Yeah, it's like a beanbag ball kind of.
Looking up at the nobility, do I see my soon-to-be great friend John Dar?
You do not.
Okay.
You did see the picture of him.
Right.
You do not see him here.
Okay. Do I see other people from those pictures that we saw?
I would say that currently you do not see any of the like high nobility in terms of the like dukes.
Okay.
They're just general like.
This is all new money.
Yeah, yeah. This is new money, not old money. Yeah, you don't see any of the dukes or anything like that. You see like a couple. You recognize like a couple of the like guild members and guild leaders from things that were on the floats, but you don't see any of the like pictured people.
Okay.
Yeah. So with a 10, I'll say that you...
While also trying to keep a passive eye out for Dandelion.
Absolutely.
You see her
With
playing
a
with the...
ball of cup.
Yeah.
Just good for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, we got it.
So I'll say that, yeah, you spot a younger, more common folk kind of like rushing about, a younger man rushing about kind of like sorting books and things on the side that looks to be kind of like the like whipping boy of amongst the clergy members of just like he's got all the grunt work to do and was probably here the earliest rushing about.
Where's he at in relation to where I'm
He's off to the right side, kind of
Sure.
just like stacking songbooks and like pushing them and sorting them.
I'm gonna keep an eye on Dandelion, but kind of slowly meander my way to, if he's kind of moving about, try to position myself so that I can say something as he like comes past me, so that it doesn't look like I'm trying to go talk to him, but just like, oh hey, while you're here, I'm looking for a friend that might have been here.
Sure.
So I would try to reposition to.
Yep. To kind of catch him as he's running.
yeah.
So he walks towards you carrying a pile of books.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, yes.
I'm looking for a man that I think he said he was going to come here very early.
There's a lot of men that come here.
Tall young man, would have been wearing black armor.
Okay.
It's very
Yes.
big.
Yes, he did. He sat in the front earlier this morning.
Around what time?
A little after 5.
You were here that early.
Yes, I have a lot to do.
Very diligent. How long was he here?
Not too long. Probably about 10 minutes.
He left of his own volition.
He did, yes. He bowed his head and looked at the statue of Torm after, and
We're far enough in from the outer gate that we came in through that he would not have been able to see a direction that he would have gone leaving the door.
no.
Like he
Prob-
would have
probably
gone
not.
straight out and further out before turning one way or the other.
Yeah.
I don't suppose you happen to speak to this man.
I didn't. I'm terribly sorry. Bit busy this morning.
Was there anybody else here?
There was a couple people, yes.
Anybody else working?
No, I was the only one working. And he just like looks about for a minute and points at an older woman sitting off to the side, just kind of like smiling a bit and almost like talking, kind of muttering to herself in one of the pews. She's here frequently. She was here pretty early as well. She might have seen him. I'm not sure. I'm very sorry.
Sure. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
What was your name?
Frederick. Yes.
Shay.
Very nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure.
Books. and turns
Back
and
to it.
rushes past you.
Then I'd turn and make sure Dandelion didn't disappear on me. Did Dandelion disappear on me?
Probably put the ball and cup toy back in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Put it back.
Yeah.
Give it a little tap.
Yeah. I would say that you are probably, obviously this is up to you. I would say Dandelion probably feels satisfied at like having found
Mm-hmm.
a secret compartment.
Yeah.
Not that you wouldn't look for more,
Yeah.
but just, like a,
Well, she's
a
also
little pride.
Yeah, just like, and then continue peeking down each and every row to see if there is a Marcus or another secret compartment.
Sure. Yes,
How
you
many
see
more
Dandelion.
rows does she need to check?
There's about 10 more rows. She's about halfway up.
Alright. I'm gonna head over toward the woman.
Okay.
Content that she's
Occupied for a while.
I'm gonna look around. You said there's just people scattered praying, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
there are just scattered people praying.
I'm gonna reach into my bag of holding. It's never too early. Just get a couple.
You see an older clergyman just...
Just gonna nod.
One does not partake of the devil's leaf. Holy ground, sir.
Sorry, I'm not from here.
That may be the case, but please keep that to outside, sir. This is sacred ground.
I'll take a long drag as I kind of like back out a little bit.
Thank you.
Just kind of put it away.
Vape outside.
If there's like I don't doubt there's an open window, but
I
if
want to
there's
know what devil he'd be referring to. What's the most common devil that would be referenced?
Well,
yeah,
gotta write that down now.
I would ask him that after I put it away. I'd be like, so what?
which devil?
Yeah, which devil are we talking about here? Do you have an issue with tieflings?
I hate him. No.
Shit, man.
I mean, it's
Yikes.
calling it the devil's lettuce. I know where to get the good stuff now, and that's the tiefling nations.
Oh, are you interested in holy matters then?
Absolutely not.
All right. Then why ask of the devil?
You mentioned the devil.
Yes, there is a great evil that is rumored to live beneath the city.
Oh,
Yes.
rumored? You mean you don't know?
Well, we believe.
You don't know.
Believing is knowing as far as we're concerned.
Oh.
We do our best to honor Tormentir and do good every day.
So could you tell me more about this devil that lives beneath the city that clearly has given me my leaf?
I don't know much about her, but very powerful. Said that she assaulted the city.
Do you have a name?
I don't.
Nameless, then. So, if you don't even know her name, how do you know she's evil? No, I'm going to press you further. What are you getting there, bud?
Hold on.
Let's just introduce a devil that assaults the city.
No.
I want to go. I want to go below the city now. Let's go.
I'm not introducing anything.
Uh-huh. Just wanted a couple puffs. And this is where we are now.
In a church.
I mean, come
That's
on.
where you happen to be.
Yeah. It's got high ceilings.
You didn't even offer the guy any.
No. It's mine.
Called the devil's leaf before he could offer.
Yeah, he shook his head at me. I'm not going to offer him any.
If he'd winked.
Then yes. If he has his own pipe.
You want to swap spit with the Cordia?
Nope. I'm growing concerned.
Why he's doing that?
And you're snooping around stealing kids like hidden
I didn't steal anything. I found it.
that I know of.
I played with it for a minute, and then I put it away. And I keep it. I'll put it back.
They call her the flame-eyed one.
The flame-eyed one?
Yes.
And you said she assaulted the city?
Yes.
Unsuccessfully.
Yes. Nearly, though. On her own.
Alone?
Yes.
Oh. I'm impressed.
She is rumored to be incredibly powerful. She has not been seen in a very long time, but... Please don't smoke in here, sir. Turns.
Will do. Or don't. I don't... Have a good day.
You as well. Do good.
But not too good. I respond. Is he a human?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty much all humans here for the most part. There's a sprinkling of other races, but it is mostly human, yeah.
Okay.
Remind me of what everybody was doing.
I was snooping.
You're still snooping.
He's talking to the lady.
That's right. He's heading towards this older woman. Yeah, make another investigation check for me.
Not 20.
Okay.
Nice. You find Marcus.
There he is. He's been here the whole time.
I found it.
Just laying down under a pew, hoping you don't see it.
Oh my god, I just needed peace. Just 2 seconds.
Don't tell them. Tell no one.
So you find, as you're like crawling under the pews and kind of like peeking, having found a book along the inside of one, you make your way to the front row directly in front of Torm, this big statue of Torm. And one row back, you kind of like feel your way around as you're feeling for things, and you feel something rubbed into the like carved into the wood on the inside of the one leg, kind of up along, like right below where the like bench would sit. So really somewhere that no one would find. And you peek your way under there.
You see Dandelion just...
Yes, Dandelion's like legs sticking out from under this pew. You find a symbol of... Give me 1 second.
The devil's symbol.
And she's summoned.
This feels familiar.
Looking underneath things and finding bad symbols.
I'll take an elongated peek at it.
Get stoated.
Get stoated, idiot.
I got water on my nose somehow.
What did she find?
Uh-oh. It rains acid. It's fine, though, because
We're
I'm
gonna
a bear.
trace it.
I have a god's name somewhere. 1 second. I can't remember which one it is.
Ooh, is it a fun one?
So you see a carving of, and I'll say that you don't know what this is, but I'll say that you would understand enough to know that this is probably a holy symbol, having seen several of them. You see hands bound at the wrist with a cord that is wrapped and painted with red. So the hands are just carved into this wood, and there is a red cord wrapped around them, bound. And you see it carved into this. And you also see a small message carved into it next to it that say there are still those in this city that believe in endurance and good.
Would I have any loose paper?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah, give me a second
guess
to think of what the rest of that
yeah,
message would be.
basically, if I have like loose paper and like a, you know, wax stick,
Yeah.
I would, again, literal crayon drawing, draw it.
Have some loose leaf.
Loose
You
leaf.
guys are all pulling leaves out in here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I have a
You're
napkin.
the only one.
Leaves.
You're the leaf guy.
Maybe.
Get with it.
My inventory doesn't specifically say that I have paper, but
You like crayon drawing things.
yeah.
You at least have a piece of paper with a mirror drawn on it. Just scribble it on the back.
So the message says there are still those in this city that believe in the sacred and good, and the blessed of Greymore will endure and survive this plague.
There are still
I'll put it in Discord also.
Okay.
That will survive this plague. That's what you find. And you grab your paper and make a rubbing of this.
I was just gonna draw it really, really poorly.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, so you draw a set of hands with
They're like-
some things written around
Like the
it.
hands are like
Yeah, not exactly perfect.
So circles with lines.
they're just like like one of those
Yeah,
like
turkeys.
Simpson like
Yeah.
little just phalanges.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you find. You're walking over to this old woman. You're puffing out
Give
the door.
clergyman some shit.
Yeah, you're puffing out the door, keeping an eye on Dandelion, and
Oh, I've stopped smoking. I put it away. after
Okay,
he
sure.
asked me.
So you're just watching Dandelion then.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so you walk over to this older woman, who's kind of huddled over, just kind of muttering to herself and like laughing a little bit, but not in like a scary way.
It's scary.
It's
scary. Hold on. It's terrifying.
It's you get like a it's somehow a nice feeling. It's not like a fucking cackle. It's just
Sure.
like a light
Like
Yeah.
she's
Amused herself.
had an enlightening thought that she enjoyed.
it almost seems as if she's having a conversation.
Sure. I would. Is there room to sit down next to her?
Yeah.
I would sit down next to her. Not so close that it seemed like I was trying to sit down. Yes,
Yeah.
just the best of friends. Like I was finding a place to sit.
Yeah. Sure.
And I would sit a moment, and I would scan the room. She just chuckling to herself the whole time.
A little bit, yeah.
Sure.
And she just like continues to kind of mutter to herself lightly, and she kind of like feels your presence as you sit on the bench, and she like opens her eyes and turns towards you. Hello?
Oh, hello. I really was hoping I would find him here.
Who are you looking for, dear? We are all looking for someone.
My dear friend.
Has he passed on?
No. Not that I'm aware of. I just saw him last evening. I thought he was coming here to pray this morning, but can't seem to find him. Obvious fellow. Very tall, young, handsome chap. Probably dressed all in black armor.
Oh, yes, the kind young man that held the door for me.
That sounds a lot like him, yes.
Yes,
You saw him then?
I did, yes. He came in a little after 5, I believe.
I don't suppose you had the pleasure of speaking to him.
Only briefly. He said that he was normally up this early. I did not speak with him much. He seemed troubled.
Preoccupied.
Yes, as are many of us. But I always come to speak to my late husband.
He didn't stay long.
I don't believe so. I looked down and when I had looked back up, he was gone. I
Very well.
heard him walking, though.
It's good to know he made it here at least.
Yes,
I
very,
didn't
very kind.
catch your name.
It's Wilhelmina.
Wilhelmina.
Yes,
Shay.
very nice to meet you.
It is a pleasure. I will leave you to your happy reunion.
Thank you. If I do see him again, is there any way I can come to call for you?
I suspect I'll find him before then. I was just hoping to catch him out and about.
All
We
right.
are staying at the same place,
All right.
but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a lovely day.
You as well.
She just smiles and looks back down and closes her eyes again and just kind of centers herself and begins talking, muttering to herself again.
Probably,
I see you looking, and I just point.
Where is Dandelion?
probably sitting on the floor with a crayon.
Gonna go walk over to Dandelion.
Yeah, you see Dandelion lying on the floor under under a pew like a row from the front.
Lean under.
Mhm.
Elongated peak.
Yeah. So you see what she sees, which is, you would know the symbol for the god Ilmater. She does not. And message.
What might that god represent to a person that worships that god?
Endurance through suffering.
Looking for secret compartments?
And Marcus. He's not down here.
Yes, I
But this is.
think he was here very early and not for very long. From the couple of people I spoke to.
Oh, so
10 minutes or so.
he was already here.
Yes.
And he left?
Yes.
Maybe he found somewhere else to pray.
Perhaps. Perhaps he was looking for men he'd like to fight.
Perhaps
I hear the wharf has some danger in it.
Like
we went through the
seeds.
theater district. I did see him there.
That's true. It's true.
But the wharf, we might find your seedy places to ask about the mayor, and we might find men Marcus would like to fight.
Maybe we'll find Marcus.
I just can't help but laugh. You just see Ren laughing just for no reason.
Sure.
What's your drawing?
This, and I hold it up, and it looks like this.
Yes, the bit on the bottom side of the pew. It's an interesting inscription there.
I don't know what it means.
I imagine it has something to do with what Marcus thought about the city not being excited to see a good man. Yes?
I suppose. Or, yes, not excited to see a good man.
Seems that some of the populace is disgruntled. Not as cheery as those folk we saw the other day. They could probably use that smiley thing you do.
Pull out the wand.
Nope, put that away. No, dandelion, not here.
That one over there. I'm gonna point at one of the clergymen.
The one that spoke to me?
Whatever one looks the grumpiest.
The one that spoke with me?
Right, yeah, there's an older, grumpier looking man.
Is there a range on the wand of smile?
Probably.
And point to the nearest, grumpiest person I could find.
Yeah, there are definitely several.
Without discrimination. I just pick one and point.
Oh, did I not take my long rest? Oh, what is that? Oh, it's spiky.
You rolled a die.
Look at it.
Yeah, I see it. That's piercing damage.
Why does it look? Wow.
What is going on?
I got some new dice.
Yeah.
I was trying to take a long rest. Yeah, I would discreetly point my wand of smiles at whichever clergyman
Sure.
shape
Yeah, give me 1 second.
picked out of the crowd. 30 feet is the range.
Genuinely would have just spun and eyeballed for 2 seconds for a grump and pointed at him. That one right there.
Just not that dramatic, just kind of secret.
Mm-hmm.
You also find next to the symbol, at the end of the message, you find this symbol carved into the wood, which is a lantern with a symbol carved into the face of it.
I would draw that too.
Yeah.
This is something I would have also seen crouching down.
Yes. None of you know Druidic aside from Marcus, correct?
Excuse me?
I do not.
Okay. I don't think so.
Nope. I know Celestial, Common, Elvish, and Sylvan.
Okay.
We had talked about him maybe teaching me some amount of that, but I don't know that
Yeah, I'll have
it
to
would have
figure
been
out.
super thorough at this point.
Yeah.
Because I had picked up a couple languages on a level up 2
That's
levels
right.
ago.
That's right.
And that was the one we had talked about being the second one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you would know what it is, but you would know that it's a lantern with some symbol carved in it. That's what you find.
Wand of Smiles.
Yep. What am I making?
Charisma.
That is an 8. So you watch this grumpy clergyman just...
I think it helped.
I'm gonna slowly back away from the situation.
So,
He looks happier now.
what do we think about making our way to the wharf?
If you think that's where Marcus is,
I think there's a good chance we might find information at the very least.
I don't think we should leave him
He might
alone
have
in the
been.
city.
Hankering for a fight after he prayed.
Just nodding at you as I'm backing away.
Very good.
I think it's dangerous for him to be alone in the city.
Keep your wand at the ready.
Maybe okay. Yep. No, opposite.
Very
I would
good,
have said the opposite, but that's
No,
Nope,
this is perfect.
Uh huh. Don't. I told you I'd break it. Don't.
Only on grumps.
I'm not being a grump.
Shall we?
You
He
guys
said
make your
grumpily.
way towards the entrance of the cathedral, and I'm gonna have you guys flip flop with John.
Goodbye.
Oh.
I mean, I can. Do you want me to do that at the end?
You don't need to do that right now.
Okay.
If you're willing to,
Yeah.
with me on that.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah, we can make that work.
I think that
Yeah.
is cool as fuck.
Yeah, we can absolutely do that.
Good.
Yeah.
Ugh. How am I doing? In jail.
Not a great time.
How's jail going, dude? It's pretty pog.
Yeah, jail's really good.
Cool.
Uh,
Yeah, genuinely, I would be literally seated, continuously just, honestly, asking Torm and Tyr for the strength to die with honor and dignity.
sure.
Like, knowing that is my sentence, knowing that was the expectation that I fully walked into, and feel comfortable in the goodbyes that I left for my friends.
Sure.
That when I dropped them all, that was effective me releasing my right to life.
Sure.
And why in prayer to the armor it would be the same reverential feeling of my father died in that mail. My grandfather most likely died in it as well. That this is my last time outside of it, and that I will ask, knowing that it probably will not be honored as I am a pariah and beleaguered individual of my reputation as it stands, know that even if it is not honored, that I died in it. In
You
an
want to die
honorable
in
way.
your mail. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and, look down at the tattoos that the people of Goldview gave me, despite not knowing or fully understanding the importance of Torm and Tyr in my life. They would have obviously respected my father and respected me as they did it, but recognizing the heavy weight of all the things that the Shaw bloodline has held throughout their servitude in Fjordain, that if it now comes to rest, let it die with dignity.
Sure.
And to steel myself to, if it is not a simple, swift hanging, to, in sincerely, like a very William Wallace style way of, do not give them the satisfaction of breaking the shawls.
Sure.
No leaf will wilt.
Yeah, so you sit in these feelings for a few hours.
Yeah.
And just kind of center yourself and essentially prepare for death.
Yeah.
And you hear footsteps begin walking down the hallway behind you. Not heavy footsteps, like definitively not a guard.
Sure. Yeah, just like the soft plodding of like boots.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And you hear a voice ring out behind you as you sit staring at your armor. Well, well, well. It appears you've gotten yourself into trouble, Marcus Shaw.
I guess trouble is one way to describe what future lies for me.
Yes, you have quite the end coming for you.
I know.
It does not have to be this way. Let me help you.
How would a creature like you help a man like me?
I imagine your father might have had the same reaction to my question.
I know he would have.
You feel this person kneel down, not like directly behind you, because he's not going to put himself in grip range of getting through the wall.
Got you for 3 minutes!
But you hear him just kind of crouch down and sort of whisper towards you. Do you even understand how far the roots of corruption go in Greymore? A new age is coming, and I need a holy warrior to bring about change.
I feel like you don't understand the meaning of the word holy.
Perhaps not. But you have seen the power that the Black Flower name has, have you not? Imagine what could be done in this city.
What with a black flower and a shawl?
Yes. Imagine the change that could be brought with power, money, and a Shaw at the helm again.
I would pluck no fruit from that tree, sir. Not ever. It is poison, and I grow wheat because it feeds the people and nourishes them. All the gold that I have ever wanted in my life, burned in the fields of grace, I will never want again.
Not even if you could bring those fields back. To see their glory once more, 10 times the strength.
Not about how much bounty sits in the fields. It's not about how bright the sun is. It's about who you see that morning glory with. And never again will the people of Goldview look out with a sense of safety and wonder over those fields. You took that from them, and that can't be given back. Not while you're alive.
I did take that from you.
I know.
And I took your father from you. Every move I made, I watched in glee as he walked towards his own demise. Like a fool.
You think he died? Maybe his body burned. Maybe his bones lay in the grave I dug for him. But a knight lives on.
You can believe in whatever you'd like, Marcus Shaw. And he goes to stand, and you hear something clink against the side of the
Like the
cave,
bars.
against the bars as he pulls back. And he walks, because you're not looking at him, obviously.
Oh,
You're
no,
staring.
no.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
He walks pretty much as like far to the edge, so that way you, without turning away,
would see his
the
silhouette.
corner of his view.
Mm.
And you see the silhouette of the man that you saw standing next to the king.
Mm.
And you watch as that silhouette begins to change, as his head goes back and his cape, his hood falls, and silver hair descends from his skull, and his ears point in long elvish points, and he grows significantly older than he is. And he opens his robes, and you see the shimmering colors that match those of the flower that you saw with Twig.
The Tempest Flower.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he just grins with that same grin that you saw on the face of the man that spoke to the king and whispered these horrid things that are going to be done to you in his ear. You will regret turning down this power. And the soldiers whose lives I have taken will cause me to grow stronger than you could possibly imagine. I will crush whatever resistance remains in this city. And it starts with you.
Whatever might you think you possess, I welcome you to try. But that is the thing with fallen leaves. Some of them bear seeds. And things will continue to grow. Not just you.
He just kind of like flips his hair back slightly. You have 2 days to think upon the sins of your father and wallow in it.
I will spend those 2 days celebrating the good, honorable deeds that a true knight spent his life performing. And I will cherish every moment.
And I will cherish your death as much as I cherished every moment that I manipulated your fool of a father. Good day, Marcus Shaw.
Farewell, Blackflower.
Oh, I am no black flower. I am my own.
It must feel nice to believe a lie.
This is no lie. The power that I possess, and the power that I stand to obtain, my grip will strengthen on this city. I have the king. I need very little more. I have this war. I have an unlimited supply of souls.
Your reckoning will come, even if it is not at my hands.
You're welcome to believe. I choose to believe in power. That's all there is. And I'll say that you do recognize this figure as Jandar from the pictures that you have seen. The roots of your tree clearly grow deep and are strong, as you have not been dissuaded. But believe me, I will chop down that tree, and I will salt the earth so that nothing grows in your line ever again. As I did with your father, I will do so with you.
Then do it.
For that, my dear boy, you have to wait. He turns and begins to walk down the hall as you just hear those same plodding footsteps. As you watch as he turns, he morphs back and pulls his hood up.
Yeah, I would turn and look once more at the armor and the helm. And I would smile. And I would look down at the tattoos. I wonder if that man believes my father a fool. How will he feel when he is proven to be wrong? I hope my friends enjoy that satisfaction on his face. And I would close my eyes and return to pray.
Keep looking down. You can stay. I'm just summoning them back in. I'm going to do the final thing and then...
Farewells.
Yep. No, where's Waldo? Where's Wally?
Where's Marcus?
Where's Markdo?
So, as you guys make your way back out of the cathedral, you see a group of soldiers, Fjordanian knights, making their way through this large gated area to your left now from where you're looking, carrying large planks of wood. And you see one of them carrying a large wooden hangman's noose as they make their way towards the grounds of the cathedral. And you see people beginning to kind of look at them confused. And the man dressed in shining Fjordanian armor at the front looks out at all of you and says, "The heretical bloodline of the Shaws will be culled from this city henceforth." And that's where we're going to end. Goodbye.
The gallows?
I didn't prep any combat spells!
Why not?
He wanted to meme Don.
I have
I told
some,
him.
but not the good ones!
We're playing D&D!
There's knights!
I didn't know it was gonna happen that quick. God damn.
You don't see Marcus.
So, but he said Shaw.
Yeah, no, you absolutely know that Marcus is...
I didn't think he'd be like hung right away. Thought we were just gonna like go looking for Marcus and be like, oh, go find him. Shit. we'll catch up with him.
It'll be a great time, guys. Don't worry about it.
It's fine. It's fine.
Friends, thank you very much for watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Sink the Dragon, thank you again for the $50 donation. We really appreciate
We
it.
love you. Thank you.
Yeah, we love you.
Sincerely.
Seriously, thank you so much. It's
Just
great to see you again.
pays the.
Yeah, keeps us going. Vulpix with the resub and John with the resub as well. We appreciate it immensely. We will not be live on Sunday or Tuesday. We're probably going to do a fireside chat.
Yeah, just because with them, with the house and
Yeah.
everything, I'd rather take it easy as
Yeah.
well.
So we're going to do a fireside chat on Tuesday. We'll not be live on Sunday. And then we'll be live next again for this on next Friday. So we'll see you guys Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you guys again for everything. I hope you're having a wonderful summer to the best of your ability with all of the madness that's going on in the world.
Yeah, seriously.
But we really appreciate you guys for giving us your time to listen to our wild ramblings. So we'll see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.